All right, we are done calculating our daily energy consumption from our last discussion, where we had 1,380 watts from our load analysis. So the next step here is to size for solar array panels. So that is, when I say solar array, that means an array is number of panels. So formula for that is minimum solar array required is for daily energy consumption divided by your peak sun hours times 1.3. Alright, so I will explain this. Alright, we already have our daily consumption, which is 1,380 watt hour. Now the peak sun hour is not the same as the hours of sunlight we receive. We all know that sun comes up around say 7-8 o'clock to around 4, which is about 8 hours. But peak sun hours is when the sun is max at. So based on calculation, that would be about 5 hours. So personally, I would say around around 10 to around 3. So that I would say. So peak sun hours for me is 5 hours. Now 1.3 is more like an allowance for like for the inefficiency for the inefficiencies from solar panels, probably debt and other things. So let's dive right into that. So we already know our daily consumption, which is 1,380 watt hour. Our peak sun hours is 5 hours. Now, in some designs, you can use 4. Let's say you want it to charge faster. Now, you can have peak sun hours to be 4 or 3. What that just means is that you want that in 3 hours the panels deliver. You don't want the whole day. You understand? So you can use 3 or 4, but generally it's 5. It's 5. So let me not confuse you there. Then times 1.3. 1,380 divided by 5 is 276 times 1.3 is 358.8. 358.8 watts. Now, I think in the beginning I told you that solar panels are rated in wattage, and I showed you an example of 100. I showed the example of a 100-watt panel. So you can decide to first of all let's round this up. Okay, now panels come in 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. You understand the jack? Yeah, it keeps on going like that. So this matches, but it is above. So if I round this up to the nearest panel size, that will be 400 watts. So one piece of 400 watts is what we need in this case. Or you can go for, if you have 100 watts, for 400 watts, it means you need 4 pieces. 100 watts, see 400 watts. I hope that's settled. So that will be all for the solar array panels and for the solar array sizing. I'm recapping again. The formula. Now this is minimum. Minimum means that they should be the benchmark. You could choose to go for 600 watts, 500 watts, 800 watts, 1000 watts, but this should be the minimum, the benchmark you should go for. So we calculated daily energy consumption in our last eh, uh, the last class, which is 1380 watts. Fixed on hours, 5 hours. This is for inefficiencies and allowances. So we have 1380 divided by 5 as 1.3, 358.8, 400 watts. So I hope that's very understood. Now let's move on to the next thing.